Hi everyone, I'm back. Sorry I've taken such a long time to make the new video. I did not know that having a kid meant that I'd be sick 95% of the year. Um, I don't think I've felt healthy in a very long time. Amazing child. Really just killer on the immune system. Anyways, moving on. Um, I've had my second video request, and I would like to get on this. Do want to put out a disclaimer that when I did my research for this video, it really freaked me out. I don't think anything gets me more of an anxious mess than anxiety, so leave it to anxiety to give me anxiety about anxiety. Man, if anybody else can relate to that, by all means, this video's for you. Um, so, what is anxiety? Seriously, what is it? Apparently, according to whatever web page you want to go to, because I didn't pay attention to the web page I found this definition from. Anxiety is fear characterized by behavioral disturbances. What behavioral disturbances might you mean? Well, stresses, work, school, relationships, emotional trauma. It's your girl over here. Medical conditions. Hey, man, I'm getting the bingo card here. Financial concerns. Big events such as death or divorce. Alcohol consumption apparently is something that causes anxiety. I didn't know that, but apparently so does lack of oxygen, and I did not know that. So, if anyone's like summited Mount Everest, were you like dealing with crazy amount of anxiety? Like seriously, I'm really curious. So, if you know the answer, please comment below. I've been dying to know. Now that we know what the definition is and what causes it, what are some disorders we look at? Well, there's generalized anxiety disorder. And that one, apparently, you don't need any kind of a trigger. The best way I could understand this and probably communicate it in the best way I can is I guess that feeling of like, a bit overwhelmed. I'm not saying that this isn't more serious than how I'm putting it. It definitely can be. It's just I've noticed, at least with myself, that I feel like I have like a general sense of dread when I am dealing with something small that overwhelmed me. And now, the cool things about generalized anxiety disorder is that there's very clear do's and don'ts to try to avoid this. 1. Practice deep breathing. So, got anxiety? Breathe. Apparently, you need to breathe. Like I said back in the original list of what causes anxiety, lack of oxygen. So, apparently when you get upset, like you can hyperventilate and cut off oxygen to your brain. So don't do that. Go. That wasn't a good deep breath, but I have anxiety, so. Anyways, get enough sleep. I'm not someone who sleeps all that often, so I sound like a mess. Apparently, sleeping the right amount of hours will help you fight your anxiety. Minimize caffeine. I love caffeine, so I mean, I don't drink it that often, but I do love it. Like, I love me a black cup of coffee, so, yeah, that's definitely something that coffee and I gotta work on, because I guess you don't have to, like, cut it all out, you have to moderate, and that's the biggest thing, is learning to moderate, so, moderation. Moderation is key. Never skip meals. Now, this one was really fascinating. apparently when you don't eat, your body goes into survival mode, and your body will start to naturally produce epinephrine and adrenaline. And those two hormones are the ones that get stimulated when your fight or flight is happening. And that literally makes your heart beat faster, telling you you should go. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to go. And that's why you shouldn't skip meals, because your body will try to overcompensate for the lack of sustenance that it's got in it. So eat your food, eat your veggies. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Next one I want to touch, and I'm just gonna like touch on these very lightly. My camera has broken, so this is like my third attempt trying to do this video. So, OCD, also known as obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, I used to make these big old jokes as a kid when my mom would go like through a deep cleaning phase. I was like, oh my god, you got your OCD moment, woman, chill. But I didn't realize that that is way more serious than what we can all conceptualize as. I didn't know why OCD was listed as an anxiety disorder when I first was looking and doing my own digging for this video. What I learned was that OCD is known as the doubting disease. And I don't know if y'all had watched my video on gaslighting, but that one was a spooky video for me to do, mainly because I dealt with some gaslighting traits in my life. So when I was reading at least what OCD, somebody who suffers with it, deals with on a daily, I freaked out. Honestly, it was hard for me not to think like, oh my gosh, I have OCD. Because they question things like, because it's called the doubting disease. So they literally will doubt everything. Sexuality, sanity, perceptions, the safety of oneself and strangers around them, which I think was really cool. Like, I thought I cared about people around me because I had a big old heart. Apparently, that's not what's happening there. Apparently, that's an OCD thing. Apparently, I don't know. I'm hoping that I just care about people. Anyways, I don't know. I keep going back to things like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know, Charlie Kelly's mom, Mrs. Kelly, like freaks out and like has to check the locks 3 to 5 times, and they ask her, why do you do that, Miss Kelly? And she's like, oh, so my son doesn't die. And like in a TV show, of course, you kind of like, ha 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 ha, that silly lady, that's not how logic works. But at the same time, I feel so bad for her, because can you imagine what it would be like to sit there and worry about your child so much that you can't stop checking locks just to make sure that they live? I don't think I've ever been able to capture anxiety in a better sense, because it doesn't make sense. And it's uncontrollable for that person. And the only thing that makes them feel like they can control it is something insignificant. I mean, I might say it's insignificant, but it might be significant to them. So, I don't know. It's crazy. I think that's just really craziness. Not the whole disease, but what someone has to deal with that. And my last disorder I want to hit is post-traumatic stress disorder. Oh man, this one's my favorite to deal with because I feel like I definitely deal with it at times. Now, of course, the big thing about PTSD is that you get triggered. Now, like we had said, what causes anxiety? Emotional traumatic events is definitely in the actual name of PTSD. So, something that I didn't know is that, let's say you witness a car crash and you're like 11 or something, and it's 15 years later and you see it's a Tuesday and you see a car crash. Something I didn't know about your body and mind is that when it sees that second car crash, it remembers what it felt the first time you witnessed a car crash. So it literally takes you back almost in time to how you felt the first time you experienced it. So to me that's terrifying. Like, what? Like, we don't believe in time travel, but your mind almost does a time traveling thing whenever, if somebody, let's say, you grew up in a yelling home and your parents used to yell, and then that freaks you out when somebody yells. Well, it's because it's literally taking you back to how it felt when your parents did it. So, I don't know. I mean, I think post-traumatic stress disorder is very insidious and really hard to deal with. Like, if you're talking about witnessing a car crash, there are therapies out there for that. There's a certain kind of light therapy that you kind of like stare at the light and then you talk about what you saw or what puts you in that stress, that mental stress place. Anyways, and apparently that's supposed to help you not feel those emotions as strongly. Being able to talk through it with a professional is a big thing. I've been told that I should do that. I don't know. I haven't done it as of yet. It's been something in high demand. So if somebody has done this, I would appreciate hearing from you to see, how did it help your anxiety, if it did, or your PTSD. Anything, honestly. I'm more curious on if it helped. And on that track, I want to talk about non-medical things that you can do dealing with anxiety. Because if I had said this before, or maybe I didn't, but I've been on antidepressants and anti-anxiety. Not a single drug has done anything for me. And part of me is desperate for drugs to work because I'm tired of being depressed and I'm tired of my heart literally racing all the time. But nothing's worked. And I still have many to try. It's just sometimes I feel like, what's the point? So I'd like to go through at least non-medical. If anybody else is dealing with why do I keep taking medications if it doesn't even do anything? I'm not saying that happens to everybody. It's just happening to this odd person. So that's you too. You're not alone. And I found out dealing with anxiety, meditation, yoga are pretty good. Also like prayer. If you're a Prayer is a good place to go. Be one with your thoughts. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Like I said, you're cognitively trying to be aware of how your mind works and how to fix the negative thought processes that are hurting you. Hard work. Nothing good is easy. So if you do it, I applaud you. If you need more encouragement, I got you. Just let me know what you need. Regular sex apparently is one, and I guess that makes a lot of sense because of the hormones and the endorphins that get released when you do have sex. But adults, at your own discretion. Okay. And the biggest one, face your fears. I don't know. I think I'm trying to face my fears every day. I don't know what it looks like for any of you guys. I'd love to know how you are facing yours. One that I forgot to mention, though, was apparently hypnosis is a type of therapy. Non-medical, but I'm curious if anybody's taken the hypnosis route. And if so, what did that do for you? Like, did it actually help? And like I said, please let me know, because I'm very curious. And it doesn't have to just be about anxiety. Like, if it helped you with getting over drinking or cigarettes, like, please let me know, because I'm like really curious on non-conventional therapies. But there are plenty of things out there. There's therapies being brought into, like, MDMA therapy or, shroom therapy and stuff like that. So I'm really curious on that. So if anyone has done that, please let me know what you think and if it helped. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you feel that you need more info or a lighter-hearted story, please let me know. I've been toying with lighter subject matter, so if you guys have any ideas or any thoughts, concerns, questions, please let me know. Message, comment, like. I hope this helped. I really do, because anxiety's a bitch. So you're not fighting alone. We got this together. Believe in you. All right, good luck.